vanished.
Yeah.
Kids with their parents camping, boom, they're gone. Some of them, they found their bones like 15 miles away on side of the top of a mountain. How can a 5-year-old cross all these rivers and all that stuff? So it makes you wonder. There are things out there. So, hey, maybe zombies do exist, at least in my mind.
Well, we don't know. I mean, Bigfoot exists, maybe. We don't know that either.
I will tell you this. In 2004, I had a friend of mine, and we went up to the Canadian Rockies to go photograph old ghost towns, and we went to an old internment camp from World War II where they used to, hold the Japanese prisoners. And, we had a hike in there about 2 miles. And, it was all overgrown and all that stuff. We get there, and my friend's a medical doctor. He just, opened up his practice because he did his internship. And, we were taking pictures, and he goes, "Hey, Gary, look at that big, huge bear over there." And I'm looking at it, and then we started realizing that sucker was like 8-9 feet tall and had long arms. And then the thing screamed at us. And we realized that was no frickin' bear. And we took off like running as fast as we could to get back to the car, which was, on the side of the road. We got back to the car. And I don't know if it was the same creature that screamed at us or its mate, but we got back to the car and there was the same thing, 8, 9, 10 feet tall, like maybe 30 feet away from us, taking this great big 25-foot tree, bending it over like you'd bend a bull, for an arrow, bending it over, and then screamed at us. You never seen anybody tear out so fast of a car. My friend was not even all the way in the car. He was dragging his one leg as I was gunning it. The thing threw a rock at our car, and it was my wife's new car she let me take for the trip. I mean, she just got it like 2 weeks before the trip. And there was a small dent on the front fender on the passenger side. And, it wrecked a good friendship because my friend said on the way back home, he goes, "Gary, don't tell anybody about this. I just started my medical practice. It cost me, tens of thousands of dollars to get it going. And if you go around telling people that we saw a Bigfoot, no one's going to come in as a patient." So, I honestly, that's one thing. Anybody out there can say, "Hey, Bigfoot don't exist," till you run into one. Okay. You don't know what it's like. I have not gone into a forest. I have not gone camping. I have not done anything since that time. You couldn't get me into a forest, period, after what I saw. No way. So,
that's me. I mean, I have to see it to believe it.
Well, when you see it, you believe it. And when you pee your pants,
sure.
When you pee your pants running as fast as you can too, that gives you some more thought too. So there's things out there, okay, that do exist that, a lot of people say, "Oh, it doesn't exist." What I'm saying is zombies down the road, because of something could, maybe not like the ones we see on TV, but there certainly could be, zombies out there in the near future. I mean, they're talking right now of a new strain flu that could wipe out, like about 60% of all the human race if it happens over the next few years. So, I mean, maybe one of the survivors or the people that do survive might like, instead of McDonald's, like I said, like your next door neighbor.
Human Happy Meal.
Yeah, there's something of that nature. But, I take it you really were into, the zombie type movies, I take it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or at least enough to write a book about it or write about it.
Oh, yeah. Enough. I mean, I have at least 3 books of this screwed up world. So.
Yeah. Well, that's, like that I really liked that one movie, The 28 Days, where the guy was in the hospital.
28 Days Later?
Yeah, he wakes up in the hospital, and then he goes out there, and, all he sees is newspapers, flying in the air, and, from the wind, sees all the car
you're
doors
not talking
open.
about the other scene in the very beginning.
Yeah, very beginning. And then he runs into, like, this guy and girl, and the guy ends up getting bit and ate. And then she survived, and they fall in love. But meanwhile, like over that 28 days, it shows how they were trying to survive, getting food. People, they would meet. They would die off because they get bit. And then at the very end, they see some jets fly by, and that was like the 28th day, and they show a scene.
No, that was like 28 weeks.
Or 28, whatever it was, and then they show a zombie on the side of the road, dying because it hasn't been able to eat you, Kevin.
But then they came out with the sequel to, I think it was like 28. I think it was 28 weeks later, or something like that. 28 weeks later. I think that's the sequel to the movie.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I need to check that out.
It's pretty good.
So are any of your books available at this point, or you're still in the process of writing
Oh,
them?
yeah. No, the Screwed Up World is actually on Amazon, and it's I have a website called Books by Shoemaker 66.com, and I'll actually give you any of the places that you can actually pick it up. It's on Barnes & Noble's website, and you can always ask them to put it in the bookstore for you, and you can pick it up there. You can actually get it from Dorrance too, but it's all on my website, Books by Shoemaker 66.com.
Okay.
I mean, it's all sitting out there in the virtual world so far.
Yeah, and then on Amazon, you said it's available through Amazon?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Amazon, Kindle, yeah, so.
Wow. What made you decide to write?
It's been out for a year.
Yeah, how's it?
It's been out for a year since February, so.
Yeah, how's it doing? Is it selling pretty good, or?
No, it's doing well. I mean, I haven't made anything off of it yet, but I mean, with all the with your interview here, maybe I can actually make something of it.
Well,
'cause it's my passion to be a writer. It really is. Something I want to do in my lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I like those type of books, so I'm going to check it out myself, and if anything to do with the zombies, I'm naturally, I like the twist though with the kids surviving and stuff like that. So I mean that's a little bit different than adults and then a few kids, because most of all the zombie movies, if you notice that there's no kids involved. It's just the and no old people. Have you ever noticed that? Except on the original Dawn of the Dead or whatever it was. They had some old people in that one, but it's like all the other ones, sequels, they're all like in their 30s, 40s, and 20s and stuff like that, and hookers and stuff like that. Yeah, and bank robbers.
Yeah, unfortunately though, the older people they can't run any faster than the zombies can, so they probably gang up on them and take them down that way.
Yeah.
I mean, even a kid can actually get, changed over if he has too many on him or whatever. But it's that's the reason for my Screwed Up World, because I mean, like a kid can survive just like an adult if he has the skills.
Yeah.
Most of them do. I mean,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of kids actually surviving right now that are living on the streets or living in situations at home that they're actually, taking care of their parents and stuff. And I'm not talking about 10, 15-year-olds. I'm talking about 7, 8-year-olds and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
But, it would be, like I said, it'd be so scary, though. Be a young age and then see your parents or your grandmother getting their, chest tore open and, sausages pulled out of her stomach, and being eaten in front of you. That would be where, it would, even if you did survive, you would have a hard time sleeping. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that's what the whole thing is. It's about friendship too, to keep your sanity, you know. Because if, I mean, you're doing it by yourself, you're not going to stay sane long, you know.
Well, if you didn't have people with you, you wouldn't survive because, I mean, you know, you need people to survive, and, you know, and I guess,
Right.
you know, how, in your book, how bad was it? I mean, the population, how much of the population, you know, was dead?
Yeah, it's all except for maybe a few hundred, maybe less than that now. While in the second book, it's probably even less than that. I mean, they only find, you know, one or two scavenger people lying around that they help, whatever. But when he first woke up there, you know, it was like the whole entire town of his town, you know, in suburbia, whatever. The whole school changed, you know, his parents and his friends' parents and so forth were all changed already. Somehow, you know, and he had to actually take whatever he could from the house and, you know, survive with his friends.
Wow.
They had to survive off each other, yeah, so.
Yeah. Is it a fairly good thick book or a small, you know, type of book where it's an evening type of read?
It's a pretty thick book. It's got 286 pages.
Oh, wow. That's like a 3-day read for me or more. So, yeah.
Yeah, because all my books seem to be like 200 pages. And when you put all the necessary punctuations and whatever else that I might forget, you know, it turns out to be a pretty thick book.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, anyway.
But I've had some people read it and say they like it, so.
Well, that's important. I mean, if you write a book and, you know, nobody says they like it, then, you know, then you realize maybe I should be working at McDonald's. If you get people say, hey, this is a cool book, you know. I mean, have you ever thought about, like, submitting it, you know, for, like, you know, to one of the cable networks or anything like that? You know, if they could produce a movie or give them an idea to make a movie off of it or, you know, a show or something?
I'd like to, yeah, but... You know, I had to actually self-publish this book. So, you know, unfortunately, I had to actually even get somebody to help me PR the book as I work, because I work at night and stuff, you know. And that's, you know, and they're doing a pretty good job for me. I've gotten some deals that I still have to look into and, you know, get them out there. But,
yeah.
You know,
so, hey, before I let you go here, again, why don't you tell everybody where, you know, your website and where they can buy it again and, you know, what the cost is and all that stuff. Go ahead and, you know, you got like 4 minutes here. Go ahead and plug your book. I mean, plug it like it's your life. You need to sell it, please.
Okay. It's called Screwed Up World, and you can find it on my website. It's called Books by Shoemaker. All one word. Books by and Shoemaker, Shumaker, and 66.com. It's on Google. You can actually find it Google, and you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Kindle. You can find it in Barnes & Noble's website, and you can actually have them ship it to the Barnes & Noble store. I also have a Facebook page, but the Facebook page is actually under Tim Shoemaker, and I have a picture of Underdog for my picture. And it has the Screwed Up World as a cover page. And I usually write things on there about what book's coming out, just like on my website. So other than that, I mean, you know,
how about YouTube?
The book's been out for a year. It's not on YouTube.
That's something you might consider, Tim. You know, put it on YouTube. You know, sit down, tell a little bit about the book. You know, and promote it on YouTube. You know, YouTube is probably one of the biggest things it's watched nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I'll look into that one too. So I mean, you know, but yeah, and you know, it's $19 for the book itself, since it's got 286 pages in it.
Well, that's like worth. That's worth it. I mean, you go to McDonald's, you know, and if you're going with your wife or your girlfriend, you can spend $20 at McDonald's nowadays. So yeah, it's well worth it. I mean, McDonald's, you eat and you're done. You know, with a book, you can sit and read it for a couple of days.
And on Kindle, it's like $14, I think it is.